Welcome to Commerce City, Colorado for the Girls U.S. Soccer Development Academy Spring Showcase as we're coming to you at the U16-17 level as Charlotte Soccer Academy is getting set to face off against Beach FC. We're going to listen into the introductions of the playing of our national anthem, but we'll be back with you for all the action from Commerce City, Colorado.
Please rise for the national anthem of the United States.
We're on the verge of kickoff of Charlotte Soccer Academy against Beach FC in this U.S. Soccer Development Academy U16-17 match here at the Spring Showcase. Mark Serber alongside former NWSL midfielder Jordan Angeli. And Jordan, this is a matchup of two teams that faced off in the final match day of the playoffs last year.
I think it makes it a really interesting matchup, right? It's a showcase. The conditions are a little bit different, and they've seen everything from a warm, sunny day to wind to now a cooler day. It's about 34 degrees right now, but this matchup, these teams don't get to often play each other. So to have that playoff game be the last time that maybe these two teams met up, it gives that extra bit of aggressiveness that you want to be the team that comes now out and wins this battle.
That match ended 2-2, and it was enough for Beach FC to go through to the quarterfinals. Head coach Mark Thornton told him that his Charlotte Soccer Academy side was feeling a little bit salty. A lot of times you'll hear the kind of general organic response, oh no, we're not considering that. These players, well, they definitely want some revenge. But also here for this showcase, it's match day 2 for both of these teams. Beach FC in their all-black kits are coming off a 3-1 loss against a very good FC Dallas side. But this is a very good team that is third in one of the toughest divisions in the country in the Southeast Division with a record of 16-8-4, 52 goals for, and just 35 goals against. Well, this is a Charlotte Soccer Academy side that is second in the Southeast Division and sixth in the entire Development Academy with a record of 14-4-4 with 45 goals for, 26 goals against, and they got their showcase off to a great start with a 3-0 win over Oakwood. So we have on our hands a classic East versus West battle, and that is one of the great things about these showcases, Jordan, is it gives these teams a chance to get out of regional play, face teams and styles that they might not normally see throughout the regular season until the playoffs.
It's one of the best things about the Development Academy and how it's progressed over the last couple of years is each game is so meaningful, and each game presents you with a different scenario that you don't often see, right? And when you get in your own regions and you're playing teams, a lot of the times you start to look like each other and you start to play the same style of soccer. So to get to play a team from across the country and have to adapt to the way that they play but not go away too much from who you are as a squad is always an interesting matchup.
Well, these players bouncing up and down, trying to stay warm. 33 degrees at kickoff and the wind beginning to whip around once again in Commerce City, as this is just one of 72 games being played today, just one of 315 games being played overall here at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Spring Showcase, as it is Charlotte Soccer Academy in their all blue kits with white numbers and white hoop socks who are getting set to kick off. They will be attacking to your left. Beach FC in all black attacking to your right as we are underway from Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. Dick's Sporting Goods Park Stadium, just behind us, the site where Alex Morgan scored her 100th goal for the U.S. Women's National Team. And right away, it's Beach FC on the attack. The ball comes across, coming out to make the save is Nurkic. She can't get to it. Second, third bite of the cherry, and somehow Charlotte are able to keep it out. What great work from DeMelo as she crosses this one in, and the save is made by Paige Nurkin. But DeMelo applying the pressure right away and really setting the tone for this Beach FC side.
I love this. Multiple players in the box right away within the first minute. Go ahead and get something on frame. See what you can make of it. And Nurkin comes out aggressively, doesn't get the ball the first time, but then it's that second and third opportunities. But how about the defense from Charlotte SC to say, or Charlotte Soccer Academy to say, no, you're not going to get a free shot on goal. It's good work by the defenders to come in behind Nurkin. Good
goalkeeping from Nurkin as well. But an early warning shot has been fired by Beach FC. As this one played forward by Eastman. Was looking for the run of Menerick, who has a goal in each of her last 3 games. She runs out of room, and Carruthers will have a throw-in. And Sophia Carruthers, if they need her to, if they're down in the last few minutes, will move her up as an emergency forward, and she has gotten a goal that way this year. But a very solid outside back Carruthers, as it's Beach FC who look to pass their way out of the back. Koumans is coming back, and this is into DeMelo, one of the captains. Smart ball from DeMelo as it brings another player into the attack in McLinn. She'll play her college ball for Cal as she gets it into the midfield. Out wide. And a good save, and we just found out that despite the lineup sheet we were given, it's actually Abby Ross who's in goal, so good start for Ross, who made the save. So our apologies to Abby Ross.
Here she is, just another look. Abby Ross in goal. She reads that play, stays true to her near post before making a play, comes out and swoops it up.
Koeman is able to get it back for Gianna DePriest. Leave it off for Carruthers. Good job to read the loose touch and get in there for Menerick. Former U14 international, now looking to break her way into the girls' U15 national team pool. Had a goal in that 3-0 win against Oakwood. The number 28, Emily Morris, had a brace in that one, as they scored all 3 goals inside the first 30 minutes to cruise to that victory. And we talk about these crossover games and the pressure of a showcase, but there's also the pressure of the regular season standing, because even though these are crossover games, they count towards the regular season. So 3 points on offer today for both of these sides. As a good work by Manusis, but once again just unable to get the ball before it rolls out over the touchline, and it will be a throw-in for Carruthers.
Sorry about that, Mark. One of the things that is interesting about that is it makes the importance of every single game that much higher, right? Just because they're not in your division and you're playing out of division in these showcases, it gives you that sense of it actually being a tournament and you needing the points to advance and go on beyond, which are, yeah, it's not all about wins and losses, but it is about teaching them how to perform in certain situations and learn from these types of showcases, so then when they get into tournaments, it feels a little bit more normal.
It was a lovely cut from McGlynn on the far side, and she wins the free kick for Beach FC, side that made it to the quarterfinals last year. So the touch on from Azigi was a bit loose, and it's retaken by Charlotte. Minarik is chasing. Good work, though, on the far side by Karan. Gets it inside for DePriest. And she'll roll it forward. Izigi. Back for Bloom. Playing 2 years up, Bloom. An 04 U.S. Youth National Team player. Her head coach, Jeff Joyner, said that in the Winter Showcase, she was up against some older national team players and some of the best forwards in the country, and she not only held her own, but got the better of some of them.
Such the benefit of these development academies too, and to be able to play up and to be able to see if you can play at that next level. It gives you opportunities to really test yourselves in a variety of things. And we're seeing that not only on the youth side, but on the professional side too, and younger players going to play professionally as well.
Throwing on the far side. What a great job of tracking back on the far side by Herman. Just love the way they hassle and harry Charlotte Soccer Academy. This time it is a free kick, though, as the ball's rolled into DePriest, who will get it back. Flynn wants it on the outside, but the pass is cut off. And now stepping in is Eastman. She leaves it off for Manusis, who tried to slide it through for the run of Morris. But it's Beach to go the other way. Tigerish work from Koumans, but excellent job to hold on to that ball from Ainsley McMahon. And Manusis will win the free kick for Charlotte Soccer Academy.
Already in the first 7 minutes of this, you can really see the way that Charlotte wants to play is use their front runners as their first line of defense. And when you have two front runners that are working that hard to win the ball back, it just is a wildfire. It ignites the rest of the team, and now they have a really dangerous opportunity here. Got to get across the face of goal, see if they can deflect something back on frame.
Morris teases it into the danger area, and climbing to get that header away was a Beach defender. Herman bought to ground, and that is going to be a free kick. Ellie Herman's been very good in this early going.
Here's a look, just receives the ball, gets her body in front of the defender. Maybe not exactly where she wanted the touch to go, but some gamesmanship saying, there's somebody coming, maybe I can earn a foul here too.
6 players queued up across the top of the box, getting ready to crash for Charlotte. It's Emily Morris who is over the ball. Will this be a shot on goal, or will she look to float it to the penalty spot or toward the back corner of the 6? And Morris drills it right into the wall, which does its job. And put back in, but it will go all the way through for Zora Standifer. Inside for Ziggy. Plays it through for Comans. Comans has a player to her left. She can get it to her. She is able to. It's Gamero who turns. DeMelo. And a good quick shot just beyond the outstretched keeper, but beyond the post as well from Izigi.
Izigi's been super active in the first few minutes here. She plays in that 10 spot, and she's moving around, trying to make something happen there. DeMelo plays it back to her. She just bends it inside of her right boot. Doesn't get enough on it to tuck it away, but that's a good spot for her.
And Gizi's been very good early on.
Yeah, I like the way she plays. They definitely want to play through her, but her defensive work rate too is something that could set her apart in that 10's position.
Koumans with a touch on, looking for DeMelo. Now coming back to get it is Jessie Dunn. Dunn with some work to do. DeMelo policing her. And once again, it's that high pressure from DeMelo. Brought down by Manusis. This will roll out of bounds for a throw in for Beach. Kuman. Touched on for DePriest. Agizi. Oh, lovely ball into the channel, looking for the run of Kuman. Kuman measuring up her defender, will leave it back for DeMelo. Still might be something on, but it's hooked clear.
Good pressure by Beach FC, just content with keeping possession, moving Charlotte from side to side, seeing when those passing lanes open up to find the ball into Kumans, who's been a good target for them so far.
Lovely throw in, bought down by Gamero. And Gamero shielded off the ball as he goes out for a Charlotte throw-in. North Carolina side unable to get it out, but they'll have another opportunity as it's off of Agizi last. And Agizi's been called into multiple U.S. Youth National Team camps. Had the lone goal in that 3-1 loss from the penalty spot against FC Dallas. So this one guided back for Standifer. Lovely header from McGlynn to keep it in. Kuman has DeMelo. DeMelo has space. Arrows into the box. Looking to put it back across, and that's good defending, but at the expense of the first corner kick of the game, and it goes the way of Beach FC.
DeMelo does a really good job there with DePriest sitting in behind her in that 6th spot. She has the freedom as that outside 8 in the diamond to get a little bit higher, and she's almost at the edge of the back line when she receives that ball. Really good work for her. Maybe her first touch let her down, but it earns a corner kick, and that's the best case scenario.
Well, they start their runs from inside the 6, and still something might be on us. It's flicked to the back post. And this one's going to stay in bounds. I think they were waiting to see if they were going to get their second corner. So it's crossed back in, and Ross will take it. Ross will play her college ball at the University of Tennessee, where she wants to major in kinesiology and special ed. Well, it's played into the center, and it's going to work out for Charlotte, as this is a good run. Eastman into the feet of Manusis. And Bloom shuts the door.
Great build up there, and good ball in to find Manusis. But Charlotte doing a good job of just reading the pressure and then breaking quickly, knowing that they might have a chance to get in behind.
Into the feet of Agizi. She's dispossessed by Eastman. DeMelo picks her head up and try to play through, looking for the run of Gamero. But the back line of Charlotte holds firm. Slipped in for Manusis, but the offside flag is up. Still, you have to be impressed with Charlotte's buildup.
They've looked good, and their play through Morris has really helped them. She's the one that set Manusis out on the left side just a moment ago, and then she's all the way on the other side trying to connect. She's done a good job of just dictating how fast they want to go forward, or if they want to connect through the midfield. She's that player that they want to find.
DeMelo. Good curling run from Kumans. Dunn forces it out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick. Good defending from Dunn to muscle Kumans off the ball. Ross, one of 2 players on this side from South Carolina. The other is Emily Morris. So this one flighted into midfield. Good hold up play to Manousis, but she's crowded out as it's won back by Carruthers. And a step, but the free kick will be called. Beach want to take it quickly.
Priest doing just a couple of laps around, seeing if she can play forward first, which is the right idea. But Charlotte does a good job of just getting back, making it difficult to find any of their front runners. They play their 2 forwards, Beach does, a little bit wider, those 2 front runners, so it allows Agizi to drift in that central space behind the midfield line, but in front of the center backs. But Charlotte doing a good job of denying those passing lanes into them there.
We're just over 15 minutes gone, Jordan, still 0-0. To me, it feels like both teams are still feeling each other out a bit.
I was going to say, I don't feel like it's settled down yet. Neither team, with how good of quality it is. And it's also this game has a lot on the line. We talked about it right at the start of the game. Is the last time these 2 teams played, a lot was on the line. So they're still trying to figure out how to break each other down. Nobody wants to make that mistake that maybe causes something. So I would expect in the next 5 minutes for things to settle down a little bit and both teams to get the ball a little bit more on the ground and try to play through the lines.
The referee calls a free kick. Cortland Caldwell is your man in the middle out of Cal North. It's assisted by Sarah Gaddis from Alabama on the near side. Nancy Camarillo from Cal South over on the far. And Tiffany now is your 4th official. She is from Kansas. Oh, it's a nice turn from Dunn. Lovely skill to keep the ball and plays her way out of pressure, although she does force Hackett to go back with it. Lovely distribution from the keeper into the feet of Dunn. Morris. McMahon flying forward. DeMello is in a foot race with Eastman. Squares up to her. McMahon comes back looking for the double team. Morris comes in with the triple team. It's a heavy challenge, but a fair one, says the referee. And Eastman now looking to chisel her way down the flank, and she wins the throw-in. So the referee will come over and check on DeMello, who took her time getting up.
What a big tackle by Emily Morris. Talked about her distribution, but how about this? Just goes in solid, wins the ball outright, then dribbles away, trying to connect. It made it a big thud, too.
Yeah. Popped over the head of McMahon. And so Carruthers comes forward to take this throw-in. 18th minute, still 0-0 between Charlotte Soccer Academy and Beach FC. As the space opened up for Agizi, but she lets it roll out of bounds for a throw-in. And Carruthers will come even further up to take. You wonder if the Redondo Beach native is going to look to launch this one into the box or whether they're going to play it short. There are a couple of players who are camped out right at the edge of the box looking for a flick on. Instead, it's going to be played into feet. Kuhlman is offside. So it'll be a get-out-of-jail-free card for Charlotte Soccer Academy.
You can see a little bit of a play, though, that you would think Beach FC works on in training as they try to play in that target player, then run off of her. Just a little too aggressive there for Kuhlman's, dragging herself offside.
Herman wins a free kick on the far side. McLean battling. Played back to Burton Zeddy. And now comes all the way over to the near side for McMahon, who will use the safety valve in her keeper, but it's a bit of an awkward ball back. Kuhlman's trying to put her under trouble, but very calm and good distribution from Ross, and we've seen that from her throughout the early going.
Ross does really well there, getting pressured by Kuhlman, a player that's been really active, especially defensive pressure early on. She nearly gets there and nicks it, but Ross does a good job of reading it early. We saw her just a bit ago distribute centrally and find their holding mid and build up through that. So this is a player that's not uncomfortable with the ball at her feet, and she's showing that.
Bengoff is pressuring, and it forces the turnover. Herman will get it out wide for the overlapping run from Berdanzetti. Was looking for Manusis, but it's cut out by McLean, and it will be a throw-in on the far side for Beach FC. Well, Charlotte's done a really good job in the midfield. They've had a lot of injuries to their forward line, so Mark Thornton said a lot of players have been playing in positions they're not used to, and because they haven't really had their goal scorers in the lineup as of late, they'd had to work really hard on finding the right combinations to create chances, and then once they do, to be more efficient in front of goal. But so far, they're on the defensive end at the moment, and they do very well as Hackett steps up. Flag stays down as the ball comes out wide. Sent right back in and repelled once again by Charlotte. And a chance to break. Eastman's looking for options, didn't have it. And now coming over, but perhaps just a bit too late, was Menerick.
To your point earlier about playing in different positions, that's a little bit what these learning moments are, right? And we've talked about how Development Academy is all about helping these players grow throughout their time in youth soccer, and that's one of the things is to be a better overall soccer player, you might have to play in a couple positions and just at least know and be aware of what the responsibilities are in those positions. And you know, it might be uncomfortable for these players on Charlotte, but how do they step up to that task? Because that's not only something their coach is looking for, it's their coach beyond that, and that happens all the time in life too.
It's a good block from Hackett, and she's paid the price. Looks to be all right, though, as the ball's launched clear. Menerick is fighting for it with Bloom, who wins out. And McLean smartly lays it back. This is Carruthers. And played it on the wrong side of Agizi. Now Eastman flying forward. And just a bit too far ahead of Menerick for Manusis, so it'll be another throw-in for Carruthers in the 22nd minute. So we're heading towards the midway point of this first half, Jordan. What does one of these teams have to do if they're going to grab the upper hand in this match?
I feel like both teams, if it were me, I would want to create a little bit more possession and not feel like I have to go forward every time we get it. It seems like it's a lot of breaks, a lot of trying to defend and then counter quickly. But they have the players and the ability to play through the midfield and connect a few passes and start to establish a rhythm and really make these teams work a little bit more defensively. They've each only played one game. They have another game tomorrow, so they're still rather fresh. What you want to do is make them work defensively, so then those gaps will open and that through ball into your front runners, and trying to break them down like that might be a little bit more wide open. So I'm just looking for a little bit more patience in attack.
Carruthers into Agizi. Back to Carruthers. Sizing up her options. Instead played it in, and Charlotte has been very good at dealing with the balls in their back.
That's a really good example, though. The Carruthers there doesn't have the runners that are really open in the box, so instead of playing it, can she bring it back and find DePriest in the middle and see if they can attack out the other side? There's just little moments that could then maybe pull Charlotte out a little bit, create some more holes in their defense, and then try to attack.
Menerick trying to get around Bloom. Great positioning from Bloom as she sweeps it clear. She has been excellent in these one-on-one situations.
Super impressed with her, and not only that, her ability to lead her back line and communicate with her back line and keep them organized. Looking at her, you would never guess that she's playing up a couple years.
Took a touch off of Charlotte last, so it's going to be a goal kick for Beach FC. And Charlotte has done a really good job in their defensive end and moving through the middle third. You'd like to see a few more players get involved in the attack. I think you talked about Beach FC maybe needing to be a bit more patient. I feel like they're getting the ball up to Mineric and Manusis very quickly, which is fine, but then they need a few more runners coming off them to help them in that final third.
I think, yeah, when I said that a minute ago, I meant for both teams. I think that they just need a little bit more patience in their build-ups to bring more players and advance more players on the field through a couple more passes, because when we've seen Morris in good spots with her front runners, she doesn't have anybody else to go to, and it's a 3-on-4 situation, which is not undoable, but it's challenging. So can they connect a couple more passes, get their other midfielders into the mix, like Eastman and Herman?
DePriest, beautifully weighted ball for Koemans. Koemans, touch to get around Herman, picks her head up, lays it back, and perfectly stationed was done to make the clearance.
Love
Eastman.
that from Koemans. Great touch to get the defender out of this situation. Just can't pick out that final pass.
And Morris will be issued a yellow card for coming in with the stud showing.
We saw earlier Morris isn't afraid of a little bit of confrontation. She's willing to make the tackles when necessary, and she just comes in a little too heavy here. The ball ends up kind of popping up awkwardly. And she comes in with the bottom of her foot.
Well, it was the backspin on the ball that took it away for her as she reached for it. So a bit unlucky for Morris, but no matter how you go into the challenge, if your cleats are showing, you're almost always going to get the foul and most likely a yellow card to come along with it. But Morris has been really good in the center of the pitch for Charlotte. But Beach looking to draw first blood via the set piece. Floated to the far side for McGlynn. Skips by the challenge. Over for DeMello. DeMello teases it to the back post. A gorgeous cross and a beautiful finish, and Beach FC have the lead.
That was to perfection there from Beach FC. DeMello using the width, getting into the channel and then driving to the end line. Good ball in here by DePriest. And then it's a first-time ball. It's coming back a little bit with a little bit of backspin, and Iskandar, what a great run in and just sacrificing. Sometimes you're not in the perfect position. You're not going to have a great head goal, but you just got to throw your leg up there and see if you can get on it, and Iskandar did just that. That was awesome.
As you outside of her boot to redirect that past the flying Ross, and Beach FC have the 1-0 lead. Well, Koemans was looking dangerous. It's no surprise that she was the architect of that goal. Now, what will the response be from Charlotte? This is a team that's dealt well with adversity all year, and their 1-1 draw with Top Hat, because of their injuries, they went to Georgia with only one sub and was able to get a result. So do not count this team out, no matter what the scoreline is.
And I think that's something they have to remind themselves right now is, you know, just keep calm. This next 5 minutes is important. What's your response to getting scored on? Is sticking to your game plan and how you play. And I think for Charlotte right now, it's playing into those front runners and see if they can get some players off of them. They go right back. It ends up going over for a goal kick, but early on, that's a good response. Now can they win this first and second ball and try to create something off of this goal kick?
Well, Standifer electing to place this one right in the middle.
You see that sometimes just for goalkeepers then to have the ability to go to either side.
Manusis gets there first. Herman rolls it across, looking for the run of McMahon. And it's Bloom who intervenes.
So that's good from Charlotte. The ball does go long, and they win the second ball, pick it up, and try to switch the point of attack. Show something different to Beach FC.
DeMello's pass is picked off. Mineric turns. Overlapping run gives her the option to go inside. Sprays it over for Herman. She'll roll it into the channel, looking for the run of Manusis. Good hold-up play from Manousis. Lovely spin to get away from Bloom, but can't escape the attention of Carruthers.
And Bloom does a good job of just holding her ground and not diving in, and just, if Manousis is going to stay there, she'll stay there, but not getting dragged too far out.
Koumans, DeMello will play it into the open space for McGlynn to latch onto it. The future Cow Bear picks up a run. Over the top, looking for Koumans again. This is where she's dangerous. Koumans hoist it toward the back post, but it's going to be easy pickings for Ross in the end as it's too close to the keeper. What a ball, though, that was from McGlynn. 70-yard diagonal right into the path of Koumans flying down the wing.
Yeah, it was a beautiful ball. And
all the spaces open up here for Menerik. Has Manousis in the middle, just can't pick her out. That's how quickly Charlotte Soccer Academy can hit you on the break. Menerik with a great ball, just skipping past Manousis.
And Manousis was actually in nearly the same position that the Beach FC player was when they scored the goal. Is just stick your leg out there. Stick your leg out and try to get anything on the end of it. Doesn't have to be the prettiest goal, but anything counts, and we just saw that on the other end.
So here comes that goal kick into the middle. You know, I'm just such a robot, and as many would say on Twitter, not the sharpest tool in the shed. And so I would just automatically place it on either corner of the six. I would never think to place it in the middle.
Yeah, you're seeing that a little bit more, especially when teams want to build out of the back.
Morris with another heavy challenge. This time it's a fair one, and in fact, she wins the free kick. This is definitely from a shooting position. First one was drilled into the wall. She's going to have to get this one up and over.
Ball just gets loose at the top of the box, and it's a big tackle by Beach FC there. I think it was Bloom just coming in and taking a little too much of Morris. We'll see. You'd think it would be a left foot. Either trying with power or trying to bring it back to that near post. We'll see what Morris decides.
4 ladies in the wall for Beach FC, and it swallows it up. Morris on the second attempt skips just wide of the post.
Whew, that didn't miss by much. And good awareness from Morris to see that ball's coming back at her. Right off the wall. Good deflection if you're Morris, because it comes straight back to her feet. She hits it solid. I don't know who in the wall it hit, but I'm sure they're feeling that right now. Why I never wanted to be in the wall.
Absolutely,
right there.
Yeah.
One of the things I don't miss about playing, being in the wall.
This one's going to come back to Standifer, and she can use her hands if she wants, but she's going to take her time, let her players catch their breath. Camaro flicks it on. Bertanzetti wins it back for Charlotte. Hackett, done. Getting over the top for the run of Manousis. Poked clear by the head of Bloom. DePriest twisting, turning, getting it for McGlynn. Tried to lay it on for the goal scorer, Escandon. Escandon goes over the top. Still battling for it, Escandon. And Bertanzetti, good shielding of the ball, will win the free kick.
That build-up for Charlotte is kind of, they're just caught, their midfield is caught in between these two minds, is to go support the long ball or to go back and support the defenders to try to build out. And I'd like to see some more dynamic runs, maybe someone stretching and then someone else filling in that pocket of space that's then created by the 6 or one of the 8s. Just a little bit more thought to how they're building it up through the midfield.
Bengoff gets it forward to Morris, who will play it back for Bertanzetti. Eastman comes back to intercept. Beach overtake. DeMello. Good awareness to see the space on the outside and to use it. And it will be another corner kick for Beach FC off of a great run from DeMello.
But McMahon does a good job because she originally gets beat by the speed of DeMello, and she takes the right angle and is able to deny DeMello the cross that she had before, right? Because she can serve it on a platter and has the ability to pick somebody out. So good job by McMahon there defensively to just deny that.
Oh, it's a long way to go to get that ball. In fact, into another game, as this is just one of 72 games going on today. 315 at the Spring Showcase starting Thursday and going through to tomorrow. And it's going to be easy to take. That's a great ball in. And still might be something on here for Beach. Charlotte finally able to wrestle it clear. Mineric. That's great work from Charlotte's number 9. Gets it forward for Manusis. Herman. Oh, she's given the inside route and she's taking it. Leaves it off to the outside. Now Hackett steps up, but punches this one out of bounds.
You can't underplay the work of Mineric and Manusis there. Just one comes in and wins the outlet ball. I think actually Manusis toe poked it from the top of the box. Mineric then won it, and Manusis ran past her as Mineric's dribbling in the middle of the field, trying to just get away from a defender. Those two do a really good job, and just that dribbling and the running allows other players to get in the attack, and then Charlotte has the ability to build up. That was a good play by them. Not the shot they probably would have chosen in the end, but something to build off of.
Manusis' pressure pays off. The double team coming in from Carruthers to help out Bloom. Somehow this ball stayed in along the end line and will roll out for a throw-in for Charlotte, but good hold-up play from Manusis, showing her strength in shielding that ball.
Yeah, I've been impressed by her. Not the biggest of stature, but she uses her body well. Posting up, turning the corner.
Agizi. Eskandan leaves it back. Agizi looking to smuggle it through for Kumans, and her touch just took it away from her.
I like watching Azigi play the ball, and then she's immediately going to support it in a different angle too. It reminds me a lot of watching Lindsay Horan when she was growing up, as she's just this playmaker who just follows the ball and gets as many touches as she can.
Lindsay Horan, of course, produced right here in Colorado.
Right, just a few miles west of us.
And her club were really, you know, the first club that I think set one of the biggest bases for the Development Academy, which was play your best players up. I mean, she was playing in the old USLW League at the age of 14, and her team did a lot of that, moving those players up and giving them that experience.
Absolutely.
And that is such a big principle for this team as Bloom clears it to safety. So once again, it was Manusis putting her under pressure. Into the 39th minute. Beach FC have a 1-0 match, a 1-0 lead in the match rather. But this one is very balanced. DeMello. Great job checking back from Manusis, but she'll be whistled for the foul.
Gets a little no more from the referee. And we haven't really seen much of this, but at the beginning of the game, the front runners were pressing so well for Charlotte, and they were really that first line of defense. And tracking back here is Manusis. Just gets on the wrong side of DeMello. But you got to appreciate that run, trying to spark something. Sometimes that's where it comes from, defensive work rate.
Well, they always say the cliche, defending starts from the front, right, Jordan?
Absolutely. But you don't always want that, right? But it seems like Charlotte has that mentality that that's where they want their front runners to do a little bit more defensive work. We'll see if it can pan out for them.
Nice touch from Morris. Over the top. Manusis in a foot race with Carruthers. And Carruthers beats her to the punch and will leave it off for Bloom, who had the angle all the way. Herman looking to cut inside. Good tracking back from DeMello. McGlynn brings it forward at walking pace. Slips it inside for Iskandar. The captain and longest tenured player on this Beach FC side has space to pick out a pass and finds DeMello.
I just heard Beach FC's coach say, don't be in a hurry if the numbers are bad, and that's what I was referring to earlier. If it's just not there, just keep possession, and now you're going to see Charlotte have to pull out a little bit and create bigger gaps in between the lines, both horizontally and vertically, and that's where things start to open up and where you can start to play, if you're this Beach FC team, in the manner that you want to.
Into the final 5 minutes of the first half, Beach FC have a 1-0 lead courtesy of a 27th minute strike from Iskandar. Inside for Gamero. I was looking for options, has no one to pick out in the middle, so she'll flight it to the near side for DeMello. Now running at Eastman. DeMello fizzes it across. Is Charlotte able to get it clear? Still work to be done though. Agizi to Priest. Gamero. Carruthers. DeMello. Really no one in support. Herman keeping a watchful eye. Well, DeMello doesn't need support. Gets around Herman. Puts in the cross, but the deflection takes the sting out of it and directs it towards Ross, who will smother it. Good work, though, from DeMello.
Yeah, she puts her hands on her knees, and you hope that it's just because she's tired, because she's putting in a shift right now. She just dribbles around to the defender. A nice little half of a figure eight there, dribbling in between. And the cross, it's just always dangerous because now she's shown what she can do on a cross. So that even that deflection, you never know where it's going to go. And good job by Ross to pick it out.
This is DeMello. Little touch on, looking for Agizi just beyond her reach. And played out for Herman. Morris coming back to find the ball, and you just get the feeling if the Charlotte attack is going to pick up, it's going to have to go through Morris a bit more.
Yeah, this is much better from them. Little small angles. They try to play it through quickly, but that hit the foot of 3 of their 4 midfielders, and that's not something that we've seen in the way that they've been building up.
McGlynn flies past the challenge and will get the free kick. Well, she's been very good when she's picked her times to go forward, McGlynn.
Here she is, just gets a little bit off of her foot. But the foul came before that. I think that's what got her off her pace. She has been good. A lot of the play, though, for Beach FC coming down the right side. Maybe haven't utilized McGlynn as much as they could.
Herman. Poked forward for Coman by Carruthers. DeMello and Crewman's unable to keep it in, so it will be a throw-in. Well, one off of a blue jersey last, so Carruthers will have the throw-in. Morris trying to get it out. 4 black jerseys converging on the ball, and they conspire to win it back. Iskandar. DeMello. Switched over for McGlynn, who's come centrally. She steps into one, and it wasn't a bad idea. Ross had it covered all the way, and she watches it bounce wide of her post.
Well, the way that Beach FC is playing is they're getting Charlotte so far on top of their 18 or even within their 18. So this shot from distance might help pull them out a little bit defensively, so they're not sat in so much. And not bad from McGlynn there. Gets a little too much hook on it.
Into the final minutes of the opening 45, and 1 minute of stoppage time will be added on at the end of this. what has been a fairly even match. You have the feeling that the scale is tipping in Beach FC's favor just at the moment in terms of possession and their ability to push Charlotte back, but Charlotte has shown just how quickly they can transition from defense into attack, and here they are doing just that through Herman. Rolled along for Manousis. Manousis turns. Oh, it's great work from Manousis. She needs a little bit of help. And the offside flag is up.
You're exactly right, though. She needs someone, and maybe it's McMahon there, the outside back, to come and help her as she posts up and then tries to dribble a couple players. Here, if you can just get an outlet, as Manousis is just getting rattled there in the back.
Well, the fourth official had told both benches that there was going to be 1 minute of stoppage time, but the referee deems it unnecessary. And at the break, it is Beach FC with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of Maya Scandon. Thoughts on the first half, Jordan Angeli?
It took a little bit for both teams to settle in, and I think that has to do with it's the second game of a weekend. There's a little bit of edge to them playing each other again after an important draw. But the grass is a little thick too, so just getting used to that. Here, this was the difference, and it was a beautiful ball in, and just the sacrifice to get in front of it by Escandon was really well done.
It's DeMello's cross, it's Escandon's finish, and at the half, it's Charlotte Soccer Academy 0, Beach FC 1. We're going to step aside here on U.S. Soccer, but we'll be back with you for the final 45 minutes. We're getting set for the second half between Charlotte Soccer Academy and Beach FC at the U16-17 level here at the Girls U.S. Soccer Development Academy Spring Showcase. Mark Sarber alongside Jordan Angeli, and we have a goalkeeper change at halftime. Jordan?
We're going to see Samantha Ciccone come in for Beach FC. This is a player we've seen a lot of teams use their goalkeeper more as an 11th player, and this is a player who likes to play out of the back, ball at her feet. So I would imagine we're going to see her distribute a little bit cleaner than we've seen other goalkeepers.
And a good look at Masielu Gamero, who hasn't really seen a lot of the ball, but she's made a lot of good runs off it to create space for other Beach FC players coming forward through the middle.
She's a good target player because she has the work rate, and she'll occupy center backs, right? So it creates a space. If she makes a run in behind or pops in, it makes space for other players. So even though she's not getting the ball as much, it's not as if she's not working.
What must this North Carolina side do if they're going to get back into this one?
I want to see their midfield get the ball more. It seemed like it was such quick transitions in the first half. I want to see the likes of Morris and Eastman and Herman connect a little bit more as they build up play. Because those two front runners, we've seen what they can do, but now can they get some more players around them as they attack? And that's all going to happen through possession.
So it's going to be Beach FC to get us back underway. 45 more minutes here on the penultimate day of the showcase. DeMello dispossessed. Oh, that's a beautiful ball for Bertanzetti. And a nice little cut to get around her defender, but can't play it down the line. So it's going to be a throw-in for Beach FC. Good start, though, for Charlotte.
Yeah, and she had the right idea there. Just couldn't bend the ball using the inside of her foot. Might have been a little effect as the wind, too, as it's going with the way she tried to bend the ball. It makes it a little bit difficult.
A lovely skill, but it's going to be a free kick for Charlotte. So it was good defending from Bengoff, who has played a game with the U18-19s for Charlotte. Katie Bengoff. It'll be another throw-in for the North Carolina side. Well, it seems like they're pressing with a renewed vigor to start this second half, Charlotte, as they force the ball all the way back to Ciccone.
I would imagine in that halftime talk, Coach Mark Thornton had to speak a little bit about their belief and what they can do going forward, because this is a team that knows how to score goals. They're capable of getting forward with pace, but also with precision. And I think sometimes you just need to remember that. These kids need to remember that they can do this, right? Yeah, they're behind, but there's still going to be plenty of opportunities to get themselves level in the second half.
I have another chance via the set piece here. 6 players across the top of the box getting ready to crash it in blue and white. It's Morris's free kick. Oh, it's a really good ball, but it's headed away by Bloom and helped further out. Bertanzetti will get it back to her keeper.
And Bloom again winning the head ball. Her presence back there and her awareness of when to step and when to drop. She drops perfectly on the free kick, wins the head ball, and there she steps to win the head ball. Good timing by her.
DeMello was looking for it for Jeezy, was unable to get it. Charlotte also making a goalkeeper change at halftime as Paige Nurkin has come in. Paige Nurkin is committed to Columbia, where she plans to study biochemistry.
Average. Columbia biochemistry, that sounds like something, I can't even say it correctly. Good for her.
Now the space is opened up. Good ball over the top, but it's Bloom who's there once again. Morris seizes the loose ball, but is unable to get by DePeast. DeMello. His older sister is Savannah DeMello. That's a lovely turn from her. It was her cross that led to the goal. This time she plays it down the line for Koumans. Smacked clear, but only as far as DeMello. And she'll leave it out wide for Koumans. Koumans will win the throw-in on the far side.
And I like to see DeMello there play the ball to Koumans and then go support her and help her, because they could create a 2v2 situation. Otherwise, Koumans is over there just by herself with two defenders beyond her. Just doesn't make the defenders have to make any decisions. So I want to see a little bit more activity from DeMello, because we know her ability in the channel to cross the ball is dangerous.
That's exactly where she's trying to get, but it's well shielded off by Eastman. Eastman still battling with it. Has Gamero for company, is able to escape her. And she wins the throw-in for Charlotte. Great work by Maddie Eastman. This is Eastman, kills it instantly and lays it off. Minerick flicked it over to herself, but Bloom matched her step for step. Eastman. Nice turn from Manusis. DeMello battling forward on the far side, but runs out of real estate. So it'll be a throw-in for Herman. And Manusis wins the free kick. Quickly taken, fizzed across. Still could be something on here for Charlotte. To the back post, Herman. Oh, if she had just been able to get her head onto it, able to chase it down. And it's good skill from Herman in the corner. It's going to be a throw-in, I believe, as it went out of bounds before she hit it over the end line. So a chance for Charlotte to lock in here. Britzenzetti plays it forward. And intercepted by DePriest. And then McClin steps in to take it off the boot of Morris. Morris is limping just a bit. Hope that she can walk it off.
Yeah, another hard tackle by Morris. Oh, she looks all right now. She runs down that ball.
DePriest sweeps it away, but Hackett is there to mop up for Charlotte. DeMello battling with Eastman. And it's Eastman who wins the battle. Just looking to get the cross in. And stepping into the passing lane is Bloom. DePriest settles. Forward for Zigi. And GZ has popped up out wide. That's a good combination between Ejizi and DeMello. DePriest. Ejizi. Dancing on the ball. Slides it through. DeMello. Oh, it's a great tackle. But I have to ask you, should she have taken that cross first time?
I don't think she had the angle. It's hard to tell from where we were, but it looked like she might have needed another touch to separate herself from the defender. But I'm still impressed by the way Ejizi there just shifts her body on the ball and pulls it back so she can face up and go 1v1. That allows her to slip this ball to the outside. And I think DeMello did need that extra touch. It was just, in the end, really good defending by McMahon.
Bengoff gets to it first. Able to ride the challenge, Bengoff. Little touch on for Morris. Morris spinning, creates space for herself. And it was a good shot zipped in, but quickly across her line to make the save is Samantha Ciccone.
I like that from Morris. She pops up into this little piece of space, fakes a shot, and then does a little spin turn. I'm going to shoot it. Nope, I'm going to bring you guys back the other way. And then brings it back across the face of goal. It was just Saccone with some good footwork to get herself across, and she really made that look easy with the way she slid and used her feet to push over.
It's a nice little pirouette from Morris at the top of the box there. A good hit as well. Good technique on the shot. Eskandon, the scorer for Beach FC. Played behind McGlynn, who will have to retrieve. Karan. One-on-one with Herman. Slots it inside for Jeezy. Oh, what a nice ball, but it was well read. And DePriest intercepts. Eastman intervenes, but it's won back by Beach. DeMello. Ejizi. Oh, two beautiful touches from Ejizi to get her to the byline. Pulls it back, takes a deflection, and Nurkin stretches.
Awkward ball in the end there from Nurkins. But that's all Ejizi on the far side. Showing a little bit of flair, a little bit of personality. And after going around one player, she does the same thing to the second. And Ejizi can't find the right pass into the middle of the box. And there's two runners in two different lines of space there she could have connected with. You got to tip your hat to her. That's some pretty nice dribbling.
Oh, absolutely. Siskandon was unable to find DeMello. Correction, McLean. Bloom plays it across. And Carruthers put under some pressure from Manousis. Was able to use the safety valve in her keeper. Bloom. Karan. McLean motoring forward. Evades the first challenge, and the ref will pull this one back for advantage.
Wow, McLean, what a good separation touch there, and just kind of bait the defender in. She ends up earning the foul and almost got onto the end of that, so the referee just took a pause, thought maybe she'll have an advantage. We saw it on the other side too, right? She just has this great ability to separate, make it hard for the player in front of her to defend. I would be playing her a little bit more, trying to get her more into the attack.
Ejizi able to get by Bengoff. DeMello. DePriest. Oh, beautiful ball as the flag stays down for Koumans on the far side. And she wins the corner kick for Beach FC in the 57th minute.
Koumans has a little feistiness to her. She gets it into a good spot there, earns a corner kick. This is a good opportunity. They've got DePriest in there who has the size and ability to win the head ball. If this ball is set into the top of the six, I'm thinking that's all DePriest there.
So it's easy to take, and it goes behind everyone. It's always interesting to look at how teams set up for corner kicks. They start very deep into the box, where a lot of teams will start at the top of the box and then run onto it. And the flag is up against Gamero. She's looking for her 16th goal this season, as now the referee spots it. So it'll be a free kick for Charlotte. And it'll be a triple substitution for Charlotte Soccer Academy. So Rachel Poplin is getting set to check in, as is Hayden Horde and Asha Means. Means one of just two Oats 2002 players on this roster, as Manousis comes out. It's been very good in this game, Manousis. Wonder if you'll see her come back in. McMahon is also out after some excellent challenges down that far side, as she has had to deal all day long with the likes of DeMello and Ejizi. Oh, and that's a great skip from Bertanzetti. Looking inside for Means. Means. And Ciccone got a touch. Means regroups. Leaves it off for Morris. Oh, and the substitutions almost paying instant dividends. And it still might. And poked away before the shot could be taken.
Well done by Beach to just fire out and deny the shot, but Means showing right away that it's going to be a little bit different up front now with her pace and her ability to slip through the lines. She nearly nicked one in there. It's a really good ball through. Means ends up getting on the end of it and then pops it back here to Morris, who I think she should have gone with her left foot, tried to bring it back into the near post. Bringing it across just allows the defender to come out a little bit more.
Well, DePriest had 2 blocks and that clearance there. Great work from the lady who plays the number 6 position for Beach FC. As Gamero gets it back. Morris. Bertanzetti. Flying forward. Has a player in the channel. Elected to take on McLean, who wins the battle. Good look. Lovely passing in tight spaces from Charlotte. Have to get out of it now, and they do. But it's Escandon. Forward again from Escandon. Gamero, really the first time she's had any space to try and dribble into, and it's closed down by Dunn, but illegally so, says the referee, and it's going to be a free kick for Masielu Gamero.
Gamero does a good job. She's working hard defensively on the near side, and then as the ball goes into Kuma, she just plays off of her really nicely and picks up that layoff underneath her. And here's a look at the foul. Just a little too much in the back of, or was that tackle at in the end?
I believe it was a little too much in the back. You see the ref pulls it back about 5 or 6 yards.
I was gonna say the tackle looked good
from where she went down.
The shove before that got the call. I'm looking for DeMello to bend this in back post. Some good targets back there. Bloom. Onto Bloom's head. She showed us defensively what she's done with her head.
DeMello to the penalty spot. DePriest quickest to it. Laid off. It's the second goal for Beach FC. DeMello hammers it home. A goal and assist now for DeMello. And Beach FC firmly in the driver's seat just past the hour mark.
All smiles for DeMello, and this was just good hard work off of the second opportunity. Mishit there by Gamero, but DeMello cleans it up. First touch, second touch, just smashes it far post. And it's a really good shot because Nurkin is going back across the face of her goal, back to her left, and then when DeMello shoots it right, it's hard to get back adjusted and come back across. So good work from DeMello. And DePriest, we talk about her work as a 6, but there she keeps the ball alive, connects, and the ball eventually finds DeMello. But if DePriest doesn't do that work early and recognize that the next pass is on, then everything shuts down quickly.
El DeMello with her 5th goal of the season. Perfectly struck. Excellent technique. And Beach FC 2 goals to the good inside the final 30 minutes of play in Commerce City, Colorado.
You can kind of just feel it on that build-up. As Beach FC brings the ball back around the top of the box. I even heard someone near us say, that's it, before the goal got scored, because you could just sense that they had Charlotte shifting in a way that just felt uncomfortable to them.
Escandon wins it. Carruthers. And Means could be off to the races. Flag stays down. Has just one player to find in the middle. Means skips past one, pokes it in, and Corinne heads it over her goal, but it's the first corner kick of the game for Charlotte Soccer Academy following a determined run from Asha Means.
It's utilizing Asha Means, who just came in. They play a through ball to her and just let her run. She does a good job here, just keeping the ball alive, sending it into a dangerous area. There's no players from Charlotte there, but it causes trouble. Curran there has to flick it up and over. Lucky that one didn't go on frame.
So the corner kick whipped in and headed off the line. Michaela DeMello getting the job done at both ends. Bertanzetti unable to control. And McLean will take this throw in. Camaro slides it in. Ejizi, top of the box, was looking for DeMello. Morris turning. Over the top looking for Means. Means gets by Coran. Has only Bloom to beat. Steps inside. This is Means. It's a lifeline for Charlotte, who are right back in it.
What a performance since she's come on by Asha Means. Right there, sometimes things are going to go right? You just got to make the best out of everything. She rides a first tackle, and then this little hesitation. She's going so fast. She makes Bloom overcommit and then comes back inside, and it's a hard finish. Players coming back across, getting that shot off. She has contact, but in the end, what a put away by Asha Means. Immediately making an impact. It took a couple times towards goal for her to find the back of the net, but I'd say that's a pretty stellar goal, dribbling the ball from half field all the way to the end line.
When looking at that effort, you understand why Means has played 21 games and have scored 28 goals this season for the U18-19s. And now she gets her first goal for the U16-17s for Charlotte Soccer Academy.
Yeah, speed kills. It's the hardest thing to defend, and especially when you've played a game for 60 minutes and then Asha Means comes on and you're tired and then you have to defend his speed. So it's an adjustment that the back line of Beach FC now have to make and have to respect that a little bit more, since now it's only a one-goal game. Try to keep Asha Means in front of you as much as possible.
DeMello. Ejizi. A lovely triangle play from Beach FC, and this is Ejizi. Had DeMello inside, tried to go back with it, and it will be another throw in for Beach FC.
Ejizi, though, there had the defender beat. I don't know why she tried to bring her back in and connect with DeMello. I get it. They had a nice build-up play, right? A good triangle, as you mentioned, getting a few passes. But once you have that defender beat, see if you can bring DeMello in with you and then go for the next player. Don't let the defender come back into the play.
DeMello. Smash clear. Coran has Means on her. Can Means get there first? No, she can't. Great goalkeeping from Ciccone. Referee waves play on. Ciccone has to get back. Morris's shot is charged down by DePriest. Eastman gets it forward. Horde plays it back at the top of the box. It's another good run in. And it's going to be the second corner kick of the game for Charlotte.
And everything is shifted here. Again, Means just reading the bounce right. And that is a stellar play from Ciccone. She has to come out because the ball is so far behind her defender. If she retreats anymore, she knows that Means has the ability to finish.
Well, it's another good ball whipped in. And the header, second opportunity. and it flies over the crossbar.
The corners are going into such a dangerous place here. It's a good ball in by Eric, and just pops up a little too much. Dunn can't stay over top of it. That's such a hard place because Saccone, especially after that collision that she just had, she might be a little bit timid to come out to that next ball. So place it right there where she has to make the decision. Am I going to go and am I going to stay? She stays and nearly capitalize.
Koumans, top of the box, Gamero. Excellent hold-up play from Gamero. DeMello rolls it out wide. A hint of a handball perhaps, but referee waves play on, and it's DePriest. Well, they had space on the flank. It was a bit too narrow, and now going the other way is Charlotte, but Bloom gets back and will guide it to her keeper. Great distribution from Saccone, exactly what Jeff Joyner was talking about. He said, when we have Saccone out on the field, I feel like we have an 11v10 advantage.
And right there, that's a ball where she dips it up and over and finds her outside back. Unfortunately, her outside back's under a little bit of pressure, but it just makes you feel like it's any other player playing that ball, not your goalkeeper.
Jeezy did well to ride the challenge. Eastman steps in. She's been very impressive for Charlotte, the number 33 in blue. Bertonzetti getting forward. Gets past Iskandon. Top of the box for Morris. She unloads and pushed around the post by Saccone.
I think that's the best shot we've seen from Morris yet, and it was probably the hardest one to execute. She got the most power on it. The ball just goes across the face of the 18. She opens up and then pulls it back across. That little bounce and right in front of Saccone is so hard to defend.
Third corner kick for Charlotte.
And within the last 15 minutes here, Charlotte has really changed the tide, right? They bring in Means, but a couple other players that they brought in have made a difference too, and you can just sense that they feel on the front foot now. Maybe knowing that this beach, respecting this beach side and saying, we might have to succumb to a little bit more possession, but if we can tire them out, we might have an opportunity there later in the game to bring in some speed and stretch them in a different way.
Eastman gets it forward for Mineric. And the offside flag is up. Oh, now they're going to say it's a corner. Sorry, I looked at the assistant referee, and she had
with you too.
Her flag up in the air, and then
I couldn't tell who was
pointed
offside.
Down. Yeah, I thought it was a weird call,
Yeah.
and it's because it wasn't offside. It's the fourth corner kick of the game for Charlotte. All of them have come in this second half. It's another good ball driven in, and it's allowed to roll around in the 6, and finally hooked clear by Gamero.
So many of these tackles, these 50-50 situations are settling at the feet, back at the feet of Charlotte, and you start to think, are they just coming in harder to the ball, or the tackler is the luck? Sometimes the luck's just on your side, and you end up winning a little bit more of those 50-50s.
And part of it has to be their positioning too, just getting into those spots where the ball is most likely to end up.
Yeah, and you've noticed that too, right? It just seems like it keeps popping back to them.
Well, there's a second ball on the field. This came from one of the other 24 fields here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. So Morris looking to turn. Iskandon. Gamero has done so much work, not only the offensive end, but the defensive end as well. Horde brings it down, or Poplin rather. This is Horde, and she'll leave it back for Dunn.
Oh, good ball.
Dunn over the top. Eastman And that's great defending by Carruthers on the far side.
I love that ball from Dunn because she doesn't play the seam on the outside. She plays in between the outside back and the center back. And it's such a dangerous run there. And it just creates those two players having to make a decision. Unfortunately, it bounced a little awkwardly. Weren't able to do much with it, but it's a good look by Dunn.
Charlotte pressing for the equalizer as we head into the final 15 minutes. And Mia Eskandon gets there first.
And it's efforts like that, it's things like that that make you realize why someone's has the captain armband and why they've been with the club for so long and had such a big role in the team, is just that extra effort, doing all the little things right.
And now Colados is going to come in to replace Bloom. And Bloom's done an excellent job. Apologies, it's actually Carruthers who comes out. So Colados is in, Carruthers is out. It's final 15 plus minutes of this one. Comans tried to slide it through for Gamero. Jeezy almost snuck in, but instead it's Mineric over the top, looking for the run of Means. In a battle with Bloom once again. Means gets around Bloom, but ran past the ball. Now sends it back, and that's good shielding from DePriest, and the shot rolled in.
It's another one of those balls.
Will take her time.
Sorry, that's just another one of those balls where it ends up finding the feet of Means again as her momentum is just going through the ball. Her and Bloom get caught up, and then the ball falls back to Means there. You got to appreciate the way that Beach FC, though, get numbers back behind the ball. And then not only that, then they get pressured to the ball and step. So they're not only working hard defensively, but then making sure that they block the shots and not giving any free shots there at the top of the box. That's hard defensive work.
Mineric to put Karan under pressure, but she gets the job done. It'll be a throw it for Charlotte Soccer Academy in the 77th minute. The early cross swung in. Gamero forward for Kumans. He's in a foot race with Dunn. Great defensive work by Dunn, and she'll get it back to Nurkin.
Dunn has been solid in not only her defensive role, but then connecting out of the back as that ball just bounces up and hits the Charlotte player on the arm. So the possession will turn over. But I feel like Dunn is one of those players that you're thankful to have as one of your two stalwarts in the back. She's pointing and directing and leading and guiding. But also, if the time comes and she has to make a big tackle like she just did, she's up for it.
So it'll be a free kick for Beach FC, who've been under pressure the last 10 minutes. A chance to relieve some of that. Nurkin trying to get to it before it goes out of the box. And she's able to do just that. Good distribution as well. Looking for Bertanzetti. Able to withstand the challenge of Eskandon and gets it into the middle. Means on the far side, and Karan will usher it away from her.
Yeah, much better by Karan. The last couple of times that Charlotte's starting to attack, she's creating a gap between her and the front runner to just not allow that through ball, or to get a little bit of a head start, right? And she's defended the last two through balls really well.
Tanner Cahalan set to check in for Beach FC.
And a good job there by the goal scorer, Eskandon, coming out. Solid presence in the midfield. She put in a good shift.
This will roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
You know what I like about Cahalan that comes in is she started just as a training player, and she's played her way into this squad, and that's one of the, I think, the benefits of having these environments that the DA has, is that every day, if even if you're not a full-time player, you have the opportunity to earn your right to move up, and it's all about progression and growth, and it's players like her, like Cahalan, that have had the opportunity and really taken hold of it and done the best of their ability.
And Cahalan making her 11th appearance of the season and coming in at a time when Joyner needs the players he trusts most to close out this game. Eskandon, you can't say enough about the game she had today, not only scoring that goal, but the way that she passed and moved that ball around and the runs she made connecting with the inside midfielders along the flank.
How she defends, too, in the middle of the park. She's just always working, always trying to deny space for the other team. So she did a really good job, and I think it's a good opportunity for Cahalan to be in these spots, because you never know as things start to progress and you get into playoffs what players will be available and what won't. And if you don't have this experience of closing a game out when the pressure is on, then maybe you get into that spot and you feel a little uncomfortable. This gives her that opportunity to just feel it out here.
Ben Goff. Picked off by Coladas on the far side. Zipped into the feet of Ejizi. Oh, she's been so good at knowing when to speed up the attack and when to slow it down, Ejizi. And this time she wins the free kick in midfield. She really is the metronome that controls the pace of this attack for Beach.
In the second half, they have really struggled to find her, and Beach has had much less of the possession, and a lot of that has to do with, where is Ejizi in those moments? And she gets a little coaching from her coach there, is instead of playing that ball and going back into the middle, can she find where the space is? And the space was outside. So little things like that are only going to make this player better than she already is.
McGlynn steps in and pops it up. DeMello battling for it, and too tactile for the referee's liking. It'll be a free kick for Charlotte. Inside the final 10 minutes of the second match day for these two teams in Commerce City, Colorado, of the girls' U.S. Soccer Development Academy Spring Showcase. It's the ball over the top, looking for the run of Means. Headed away by Bloom, headed right back in. Bloom gets on it again, and a third challenge by Bloom, and she'll get it clear.
I've been super impressed by Bloom. I think she, from what I've seen, she's got to be one of the top-rated center backs in the country right now. Not only for her age group, since she's much younger than this age group, but for this age group. She seems so poised back there. She steps when need be. She'll win a head ball. She'll connect out of the back.
And talk about the fact this is the 2002-2003 age group. Bloom playing 2 years up, and everybody else playing a year up as well. In fact, Tanner Cahalan is the only 2002 on this roster.
That's incredible. It just makes you wonder what next year is going to look like for this team. They already have success, and they found that with the way that they work and the way they move off the ball and their ability to possess out of situations. And there's a lot of growth that happens in between those 2 years too for girls. So a little bit more strength, and this team, will continue to progress.
It's the continuity as well. 14 returners from last year, and the fact of the matter is that almost all of these players have been with Beach FC since the U8 through U10 age group.
There's something to be said to that. That's how my club team was, and we were just, not that we were unstoppable, but we had a special way about playing. It made it hard for other teams to defend us.
And the cross is charged down by McGlynn, but it will be a throw-in for Charlotte. As one of the things Jeff Joyner said about that, he said, because these players have been in our club for so long, the tactical base is there, so the trainings can be really finite and detailed. And they're going to have to work on the defensive side of things here as they look to preserve the 2-1 lead heading into the final 7 minutes plus stoppage time. As the cross comes in from Horde, and it's cut out by Bloom, who lifts it over looking for Koumans, who wins the free kick. And a yellow card is going to be given to Hackett for persistent fouling.
Smart play there by Cummins. She feels the contact, just sets into it. Earns the foul and gives her team who's winning, but underneath a little bit of pressure, especially on the counterattack from Charlotte, gives them a little bit of time to kill some momentum that's been building.
I'll mention that this is the second match day. Tomorrow, both teams will finish off the showcase. Charlotte will take on Lone Star. Well, Beach FC will face off against Oakwood, the team that Charlotte beat 3-0 to start the showcase. And something we talked about on the previous broadcast is the fact of the matter is that this is the type of environment and the type of games that these teams will need to play in and win in order to go on and win a national championships when they go into the playoffs in Oceanside at the end of June.
I think that's the best part about these showcases. It matches like-for-like teams up that wouldn't normally match up against each other. So you're seeing somebody different that plays a different style of play that you don't know their players in and out like you do maybe some of the teams in your division. So it presents challenges, and then how do these teams deal with the challenges? I think that's a huge learning lesson that they can take into these tournaments and the playoffs. When games are on the line, then they've already been in those situations before. Maybe not for the playoffs, but in these showcases.
So it'll be a free kick for DeMello. A goal and assist today already. The 15-year-old drives it in toward the near post, looking for the flick on. And the shot is over from Tanner Cahalan. So not a bad effort from Cahalan.
Yeah.
Did well to pounce on that rebound, and too many bodies in the way. She had to lift it.
Well, and from DeMello, too. Just driving this near post. It's pretty low. Putting it in a dangerous area. You got to credit Bengolf there for getting her head in the way and trying to defend the ball. Oh, shot cross.
Seen a couple of those so far in the showcase. Still time for an equalizer, especially if they can get Means off into space, but Bloom shuts the door on that occasion. The plate over the top, looking for the run of Means, and Curran gets there first to steer it to safety. And anywhere will do at the moment for Beach FC. 4 minutes to hang on to the 2-1 lead. And Means wins the free kick.
Good job by Means there. I feel like on those throw-ins, though, you might want to get somebody else. Throw Means back into the center of the field so she can be on the end of it. She does a good job to earn the foul. Now, Morris is on top of it with another chance to... She's been close on a couple of occasions with her set pieces. So we'll see if she can get this one right. Make it difficult, though, for Ciccone. Some of the Charlotte players need to come across the face of goal, drive towards the near post. Because when they do that, they're going to bring their defenders with them, and that's just a lot of bodies. It makes it tough for the goalkeeper to see what's happening.
It's Morse's delivery. It's a good delivery. It's free at the back post, and Ciccone comes flying out to take it. A real brave challenge from the goalkeeper to keep the score at 2-1.
I don't know if you could have played a better ball than that by Morris. She puts it in there, and it's just in this sweet spot. Ciccone has to stay, and then it just misses. 3 players for Charlotte. Nobody able to get a nick on it. And that big touch from Bengolf goes too high. Ciccone can pick it up, but she got that free kick right. That was a good driven ball into the danger zone.
Just look at the way that ball knuckled, too. If you're the goalkeeper, you can't come out for that because
No.
you can't judge the flight of that ball the way it's
stuck.
moving.
Yeah, she was stuck there.
You
have to respect it.
Into the final 2 minutes of what has been a really enjoyable game between Charlotte Soccer Academy and Beach FC. 2 of the best teams in the Development Academy, and they showed why. It's a Beach FC side looking to tack on its 17th win in the country in a season where they've already played the top 4 teams in the Development Academy, whether it be in the Southeast Division, or Southwest Division rather, or in the Winners and Spring Showcases.
It's got to give them confidence too, knowing that they can, regardless of the results against those top teams, that you can go in there and you can hang and you can play. And even this, what Charlotte has done today is two different. When they bring Means in, it's a different game than when they did before, and just being able to weather that storm. Yeah, you give up a goal, but you don't give up 2, at least not yet here as the minutes kind of wane down. But it's good adjustments by the back line to figure that out.
Yeah, well, what were the adjustments the back line made after Means scored that goal?
It was really, Coran there was dropping back a little bit farther, so she's letting Bloom be that first player and step up, but then Coran is almost 5-10 yards off the back line, making sure that through ball, if it goes, she has a head start and she could maybe beat Means then to the ball.
Into the final minute of the 90, and more time bleeds off this clock due to the free kick. Koumans won't mind taking her time. She's been very impressive today, Drew Koumans.
Yeah, I've liked her. A different type of forward. She's pacey, but she's good on the ball. I think her hold-up play really helped Beach FC in the first half. Just connect and find their midfielders. She did a good job today.
Into stoppage time. I thought I heard the referee say there was going to be 3 minutes. Colados with an important header. And she'll just shepherd that one out of bounds and allow more black jerseys to get behind the ball.
And you always know when it's a parent on the far side because they're running after the ball, trying to keep it in. I love that. Good parent work over there.
I'm also jealous of the coat they're wearing.
Yeah, that's
that
a
looks
nice
very
coat.
Warm.
Cartman-esque.
So the shot comes in over Saccone, but over the crossbar as well.
Maybe a little nervous there. She didn't move at all. She knew, though. She knew, right? She knew it was going to go over. The ball pops up, and then it's Ben Gulf just going from distance. Maybe a little ambitious there.
Horde looking for Means. Bloom gets her head on it and gets the second ball as well. McLean clears it. Didn't take a touch on its way out, though, so it'll be Charlotte's ball. Time to get everybody forward in blue. Horde's cross is charged down.
It's great work by Beach FC. They send 3 players back to go deny that cross, win the ball back, now push Charlotte all the way back, having to restart. That commitment in the 90th, 91st, 92nd minute is what helps you win big games.
Lovely skill from Cahalan, and she smartly shields it around the corner and wins the throw-in. Great work from Cahalan. You understand now why she was pulled up from the non-DA side.
Yeah, it was smart there. She shows her back to the player. They bite, and then she just nicks it off of their shin for a throw-in. Wastes a couple more seconds. No rush as they try to tick off some more of the seconds, but solid performance from Beach FC.
And Gamero is not going to add to her 15-goal total for the season, but she's a huge reason Beach FC are on the verge of taking all 3 points.
Yeah, I thought Gamero and Koumans both did a good job, and the way they worked off each other, but how they also brought in Azigi into the play, and even their outside players in their diamond in the midfield with DeMello. She played great too and was able to connect with Gamero and Koumans.
And Ajizi, despite the fact I pronounced her name about 10 different ways, my apologies to her and her family, has had an excellent game in the center midfield today.
Yeah, she's a good player, and it's someone that you look at, and when I'm watching her off the ball, you can just see her mind working, and she's checking her shoulder and thinking, what's next? It's always that next play.
Camaro. Hackett hassling her. Camaro gets it back. Coran smartly gets it out wide. So many players would have just thumped that forward. Means pops the header up to Priest. That will be the last action of the game as Beach FC ran out to a 2-0 lead and eventually would hold on for all 3 points. Escandon in the 27th minute, DeMello in the 62nd, and even though Means pulled one back 4 minutes later, Beach FC held firm. Final thoughts, Jordan Angeli.
A good performance by Beach FC, and I think Charlotte Soccer Academy definitely grew themselves into the game and felt a lot more confident in the second half. That goal by DeMello here in the second half took a little bit of wind out of their sails, but they bring Means on and she makes a difference, and then they're pressing the rest of the game. I think there's a lot to learn for both sides, but Beach FC, if you look at the game on a whole, I think we're the outright winners of this one.
A wonderful match comes to an end, but still one more day left in this showcase, and we'll have it for you tomorrow starting at 11:15, and we will be with the U14 level as Oakwood Soccer Club will take on the California Thorns, and then at 1:30 we'll be back here at the U16-17 level as the Dallas Texans will take on the San Diego Surf. But for now, for Jordan Angeli, I'm Mark Serber saying so long from Dick's Sporting Goods Park, where it finishes Charlotte Soccer Academy 1, Beach FC 2.